Jermaine is definitely jealous of him. I mean, it's very blatant that he's very jealous of Michael, or anybody that succeeds in that matter in the family.
That's ridiculous. Who has not had success in my family? We were the Jackson 5. Every song Michael sung on, I sung on. We helped build what's going on right now.
I'm sorry, Robin. I know, because I keep saying the same thing. I couldn't believe, it's still to this day, it's still so difficult for me to believe. It's you have to accept what is.
Janet Jackson has seemingly gone scorched earth on her own family. First, they criticized her for not taking on the financial burden of supporting the family after Michael Jackson's passing. Then they took issue with her decision not to appear in the new movie. Now they're even claiming she's jealous of the film's success. Seriously, what in the world is going on? But Janet doesn't seem willing to let anyone speak about her however they want or treat her the way many believe Michael was treated. Especially not when millions of dollars were reportedly accepted to release a movie that some critics claim contains misleading or inaccurate portrayals of his life. Many viewers were shocked when they watched the movie and realized Janet wasn't in it at all. In fact, she wasn't even given an honorable mention. That stood out to a lot of fans because even if you don't know much about Michael Jackson, his family, or his legendary career, one of the first things people often learn is how incredibly close he and Janet were. Their bond has long been considered one of the strongest relationships within the Jackson family. Janet is the youngest of the Jackson siblings, and despite the 8-year age gap between them, she and Michael shared a remarkably close connection. They genuinely adored each other, both as siblings and as friends. Throughout the years, there was never a time when the public heard about them feuding or turning against one another, whether behind closed doors or in front of the cameras. Their relationship was built on love, loyalty, and mutual respect, making Janet's absence from the film all the more surprising to many fans.
Look at her. She's like me, she loves the camera. Janet and myself. Yeah, the whole family calls her Dunk, which is short for donkey. We've always called her that since she was a little girl.
The fallout between Janet Jackson and the rest of the family had reportedly become so severe that she ultimately decided to pass on appearing in the movie. The official explanation was that Janet has her own biopic in development, and making an appearance in the Michael Jackson film could create a conflict between the two projects. At first, many people assumed the family would eventually work things out because, after all, family is family, right?
But things didn't unfold that way.
Janet was also noticeably absent from the movie's premiere. She never publicly endorsed the film, and sources close to her have claimed that she strongly disliked the finished product. That only fueled speculation that something much bigger was happening behind the scenes. Keep in mind that the entire Jackson family reportedly gathered for a private screening before the movie's public release, and Janet attended as well. According to the rumors, however, she walked out of the screening furious. Reports claim that she and Jermaine Jackson got into a heated shouting match because Janet was deeply unhappy with the way Michael's story had been portrayed. Jermaine, on the other hand, was said to be extremely pleased with the final result. With his son, Jaffer Jackson, portraying Michael in the film, he reportedly wasn't about to let Janet criticize a project that meant so much to his family. The rest of the Jackson family reportedly sided with Jermaine. Even Katherine Jackson was said to have praised the movie and expressed excitement for audiences to finally see it. They were confident the film would resonate with fans and perform well at the box office. As it turned out, their confidence wasn't entirely misplaced.
Jafar on the screen, my son, when the most proudest father on the planet. I bring these names up because Jafar's performance, I thought I was looking at my brother, Michael. And I guess I feel like my father did. Very proud when we did the victory tour, like James Jordan with Michael Jordan, with Dale Curry, with Steph Curry. Jafar, you were unbelievable. And thank you. Thank you for continuing the legacy of the family and Michael. You did an unbelievable job. I love you.
I love you too.
Unbelievable.
Give it up.
The film has reportedly become one of the highest-grossing music biopics of all time, and many fans have embraced it with enthusiasm. For a lot of viewers, the movie feels like a celebration of Michael Jackson's life, legacy, and extraordinary career. One of the biggest talking points has been Jaffer Jackson's performance, with many people saying they had to do a double take because of how closely he resembles his famous uncle. As praise for the movie continued to grow, new rumors about the Jackson family also began circulating online. According to those claims, some relatives believe Janet Jackson's negative reaction to the film stemmed from long-standing personal frustrations. Some commentators even alleged that she had always been jealous of Michael's unparalleled success because, in their view, his achievements would always overshadow everyone else's in the family. Others have speculated that the timing of Janet's own upcoming biopic may have added to the tension. According to these rumors, she may have been concerned that the overwhelming attention surrounding the Michael Jackson film would once again place his legacy at the center of the conversation, making it more difficult for her own project to receive the same level of public excitement. However, these claims remain unverified, and Janet has not publicly confirmed that jealousy or competition played any role in her reported feelings about the movie.
Did you miss not having Janet in the movie?
I wish everybody was in the movie.
Yeah.
So.
Did you try to convince her and say, let's do it?
Well, she was asked and she kindly declined, so you have to respect her wishes.
This wasn't the first time Janet Jackson had reportedly distanced herself from members of her family. But one thing she seemingly wasn't willing to do was let them paint her as the villain in the story. Especially when, in her view, the movie failed to present a complete picture of Michael Jackson's life and overlooked the complicated dynamics within the Jackson family. Critics of the film have also argued that it glossed over difficult moments while celebrating those who continue to benefit financially from Michael's name and legacy. As Michael's solo career began to take off, the balance within the family changed dramatically. By the time he released Off the Wall and later Thriller, it became increasingly difficult to deny that he had reached an entirely different level of global fame. His remarkable success transformed him into one of the biggest stars in the world, and, according to various accounts and biographies, those changes created tension within the family. Some reports have suggested that several of Michael's brothers, particularly Jermaine Jackson, struggled with the growing gap between Michael's success and their own careers. Since they had started their musical journey together, they reportedly believed they deserved the same recognition, opportunities, and level of fame. As Michael's popularity continued to soar, those feelings allegedly turned into frustration, with some believing the group was increasingly being viewed as little more than Michael's supporting act. Even so, despite the reported resentment, the family also had strong reasons for wanting Michael to remain with the group. According to past interviews and various accounts, Janet has suggested that her father and some of her brothers were reluctant to see Michael become fully independent because his star power was essential to the group's continued success and financial stability. Although Katherine Jackson was widely known for supporting Michael's ambitions, Swordle reportedly encouraged him to carefully consider the family's future and the importance of staying connected to the group, even as his solo career continued reaching unprecedented heights.
They want to forget, but the Jackson 5 is what gave Michael and Janet the platform to do what they did. And the Jackson 5, to this day, there's no other act in the history of the business that was unknown and came out with 4 #1 records in a row, knocked the Beatles out of #1 spot twice, and never had a Grammy.
If Michael hadn't stood his ground and fought for his independence, many people believe the world might never have come to know him as the global powerhouse he ultimately became. But his decision to fully embrace a solo career only deepened the growing divide within the family. According to various reports and accounts over the years, some relatives expected Michael's enormous success to benefit the entire family financially, with the attitude that if he was earning millions, everyone else should share in that success. Following Michael's passing, similar expectations were reportedly placed on Janet because she was the family's next biggest star. According to these claims, some relatives looked to her to shoulder the family's financial responsibilities. Janet, however, reportedly made it clear that she had no intention of becoming the next person expected to carry everyone else. After witnessing what she believed Michael had gone through, she wasn't willing to become another scapegoat or allow herself to be treated unfairly. Whenever Michael tried to establish healthy boundaries, critics have claimed that some family members responded by making him feel guilty about his solo success. He was often reminded that he had started his career with the Jacksons and was expected to continue supporting the family because, in their view, he had left them behind as his fame exploded. By the time the Victory Tour came around in 1984, Michael openly admitted that he was participating largely out of a sense of family obligation rather than personal desire. Throughout the tour, he reportedly kept his distance from the rest of the family, and the strain between them became increasingly noticeable. Then came the moment that shocked everyone. At the final concert, Michael announced to the audience that it would be the last time he would ever perform with his brothers as part of the group. According to numerous accounts, Michael had not warned his family beforehand, leaving them completely blindsided. The announcement reportedly forced them to rethink future plans, including potential endorsements and additional tour dates that had been discussed for Europe and Australia, creating even more tension within the family.
Listen up. I'd like to say this is our last and final tour. And I think this is our farewell tour. Y'all been wonderful. It's been a long 20 years, and we love you all.
From that point on, many observers felt the relationships within the Jackson family were never quite the same. The distance between Michael and several of his siblings appeared to grow, and a number of public incidents only fueled speculation that deep divisions existed behind the scenes. Jermaine Jackson drew significant criticism after releasing the diss track, Word to the Bad, a song that many listeners interpreted as taking aim at Michael during one of the most difficult periods of his life. The track sparked backlash from fans, who believed it crossed the line by referencing Michael's appearance, including his vitiligo, at a time when he was already under intense public scrutiny. LaToya Jackson also became the center of controversy during the 1990s. Some commentators have pointed to photographs of her with journalist Victor Gutierrez, who made widely disputed allegations about Michael, as evidence of family tension. However, those photographs alone do not establish that LaToya was involved in promoting or supporting his claims. What is well documented is that LaToya publicly made allegations against Michael during that period, accusations she later retracted. She subsequently stated that she had been pressured and manipulated into making those statements while she was in an abusive relationship with her then manager and husband, Jack Gordon. Her reversal added another complicated chapter to the already strained history between Michael and certain members of the Jackson family. Whether these incidents reflected genuine personal conflict or the intense pressure surrounding one of the world's most famous families remains a matter of debate. Even so, they contributed to the widespread perception that the Jackson family's private struggles had increasingly become public, leaving lasting scars on relationships that many fans once believed were unbreakable.
I must tell you that this is very difficult for me, that Michael is my brother. I love him a great deal, but I cannot and I will not be a silent collaborator of his crimes against small innocent children. And if I remain silent, then that means that I feel the guilt and the humiliation that these children are feeling, and I think it's very wrong. I have seen checks payable to the parents of these children. And I don't know if these children were apparently brought to the parents by Michael or not. But I have seen these checks, and I've seen these checks through my mother. She's shown me these checks that Michael had written to these children, and it's for a great amount. And I'm not speaking pennies. The sums are very, very large amount. And this is my first time talking about it, and I never want to speak about it. I never want to say anything about it. but I think it's sad because I am a victim myself and I know what it feels like. And these kids are going to be scarred for the rest of their life, and I don't want to see any more innocent small children being affected this way. I love Michael very dearly, but I feel even more sorry for these children because they don't have a life anymore.
These are the very same people who are now claiming that Janet Jackson was somehow jealous of Michael. Yet many fans find those accusations difficult to reconcile with everything that has been said about the family's history over the years. When Michael Jackson passed away, his estate plan reflected very specific decisions. He left the majority of his estate to a trust benefiting his children, made provisions for his mother, Katherine Jackson, and designated a portion of his assets to charitable causes. Contrary to years of online speculation, his siblings were not direct primary beneficiaries of his estate. According to various reports, some of Michael's siblings have benefited financially through funds provided to Katherine over the years, as she has received support from the estate. However, Katherine is now in her 90s, and under the terms of Michael's estate plan, the trust's assets are ultimately intended for his children. Once that transition is complete, those funds are expected to remain under the control of Michael's heirs rather than continuing through other family members. Because of that, some online commentators have speculated that certain relatives have a strong financial interest in projects celebrating Michael's legacy, including films, documentaries, and other ventures tied to his name. These observers believe that successful projects could generate additional revenue connected to the estate and, indirectly, benefit family members while Katherine is still alive. However, those claims remain speculative and have not been substantiated with public evidence. What is clear is that Michael's legacy continues to generate enormous public interest, and any major project connected to his life inevitably attracts both praise and controversy. As a result, debates over money, family dynamics, and Michael's true wishes continue to fuel headlines, leaving fans divided over where the truth really lies.
The film panders to a very specific section of my dad's fandom that still lives in the fantasy, and they're gonna be happy with it. The thing about these biopics is it's Hollywood, so it's fantasy land. It's not real, but it's sold to you as real, and a lot of sugar-coated, like the narrative is being controlled. And there's a lot of inaccuracy, and there's a lot of just full-blown lies.
According to those close to the situation, Janet Jackson wants no part in what she reportedly views as a cash grab. She is said to have no interest in supporting a project that, in her opinion, fails to tell the full story of what her brother Michael Jackson experienced throughout his life. Sources claim that this stance has created even more tension within the family, but Janet has reportedly remained firm in her decision and isn't willing to be pressured into changing her mind. Unlike many of her siblings, Janet built an extraordinary career that stands on its own. She became a global superstar in her own right, earning critical acclaim, record-breaking success, and a legacy independent of Michael's. Because of that, many fans argue that she has no financial reason to rely on Michael's name, reputation, or legacy to remain relevant. Even among viewers who genuinely enjoyed the movie, some believe Janet's concerns deserve consideration. One of the biggest criticisms surrounding biopics is that audiences often walk away believing every scene reflects exactly what happened, even though filmmakers frequently compress timelines, dramatize events, or leave out important details for storytelling purposes. As a result, certain aspects of a person's life can be oversimplified or omitted altogether. Online, some critics have argued that several members of the Jackson family have continued to benefit financially from projects centered on Michael's legacy, while Janet has chosen to stay on the sidelines. Those claims remain matters of public opinion rather than established fact. Supporters of Janet also question the idea that she would be jealous of Michael, pointing to her decades-long career and the close relationship the two siblings reportedly shared throughout their lives. Whether you see the film as a heartfelt tribute or a commercial project designed to capitalize on Michael's legacy ultimately comes down to your own perspective. What do you think? Was the movie a genuine celebration of Michael Jackson's life, or did it lean too heavily into commercial interests? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.